The different forms of trauma. Presented by the Ward and Wellness Services. In association with CJ Ward Creations. Before. The greatest method to help children and family members recover after a tsunami is to be prepared ahead of time. Tsunami-prone areas should play an active role in encouraging their citizens to prepare. There are 2 warning centers run by the National Weather Service, Pacific Tsunami Warning Center in Hawaii, and West Coast and Alaska Tsunami Center in Alaska. Officials at these warning centers can notify emergency management in coastal areas if a tsunami is approaching from afar. Families should do the following to strengthen their preparedness. Be aware of the threat of a tsunami. Families should determine whether they are in a potential tsunami zone and learn about the history of tsunamis in their area. They should also know how high their street is above sea level and how far it is from the shore or other high-risk waters, as these numbers may be used to issue evacuation orders. Encourage families to check their insurance policies to see if they would be covered in the event of a tsunami. Know how to safely evacuate. Families should be aware of tsunami evacuation routes in their area, as well as work and school evacuation protocols. Teach families to always flee inland and to higher ground, preferably at least 100 feet above sea level or 1 mile inland, some experts say 2 miles. Families should stay away from rivers and streams where tsunami water could enter. When evacuating, people may have to leave their valuables behind in order to get out safely. Individuals should remain in their evacuation site until emergency officials give the all clear, because the waves can last for hours and grow in size. Encourage your family to practice evacuating at least once a year. Know how to spot natural tsunami warning indicators. Local tsunami waves can strike coastal areas in minutes, well before official tsunami warning systems are triggered. Families in tsunami-prone areas should get familiar with both government alarm systems and natural warning indications that a tsunami is approaching. The following are natural warning indications that you should get off the coast right away. A strong earthquake near the ocean that knocks people off their feet or lasts more than 20 seconds. A loud roar coming from the ocean, unusual disappearance or rise of water in the ocean or odd bubbling and animals acting strangely, such as suddenly leaving, gathering in groups, or attempting to enter places they normally wouldn't. Be aware of how to obtain up-to-date official tsunami information. Identify which websites, social media platforms, radio/news stations, or smartphone notifications will provide the most up-to-date tsunami information for families. Families should be familiar with the sirens used to warn the public of imminent tsunamis. As well as the words used to describe tsunami conditions, Tsunami Information Statement indicates the occurrence of an earthquake or the issuance of a tsunami warning, advisory, or watch for another portion of the ocean. Most information sources suggest that there is no threat of a damaging tsunami in the area and that evacuations are unnecessary. Tsunami Warning indicates that a distant earthquake has happened and that a tsunami may erupt in the area later. People should keep an eye out for updates and be ready to act if necessary. Tsunami Warning: a tsunami with potentially large waves is forecast or occurring, posing a threat to anyone in or near the water. There may be some flooding along the shore and in the harbor, but no major damage is forecast. People should avoid swimming and staying away from beaches and rivers. Tsunami Warning indicates that a tsunami has been generated or may have been generated, posing a risk of destruction. People in the notified area should flee to higher ground inland. Put together an emergency go kit. Families should keep enough water, food, and other emergency supplies to last at least 3 days, as well as enough prescriptions to last at least 7 days. It's also a good idea to have copies of crucial documents on hand, as well as a radio with batteries for weather updates and pet supplies. In the event that the family needs to evacuate quickly, keep goods in a large backpack, duffel bag, or easy-to-carry container. Children can also make their own kits with their favorite toys included. Review the family preparation plan for more information. Develop a family communication strategy. Families should keep crucial contact information on hand and be aware of who they might flee or stay with in the case of an emergency. Ascertain that babysitters are aware of this crucial information. Families can use the preparedness wallet card to help them construct their plan by filling it out and carrying it with them. Make provisions for children's needs. Families should provide youngsters with straightforward, reliable information about tsunamis. If your children spend time along the seaside, make sure they understand the natural warning signs of an incoming tsunami and how to get away. Parents should encourage their children to participate in preparedness activities. The Help Kids Cope app gives parents tips on how to communicate with children at various stages of development. Knowing what to do before and during a tsunami can give families a sense of control and enable them to take precautions to ensure their survival. Take into account the following: when a tsunami watch or advisory is issued, families should listen to radio, TV, or a mobile device for tsunami updates and evacuation notifications. All local officials' directives should be followed by families. Re-evaluate their emergency supplies and keep their go kit by the front entrance. Families should also prepare by ensuring that their phones are completely charged. Inform other members of the household. Families should alert all members of their household to the tsunami warning and be prepared to evacuate swiftly if one is issued. Avoid swimming and staying away from beaches, harbors, and waterways. Families who live near the coast or who receive a tsunami warning should evacuate their home promptly. Families with pets should immediately comply with any evacuation orders and relocate to a higher, safer area. They should also leave if they notice one of the natural tsunami warning signs, such as an earthquake near the ocean lasting at least 20 seconds or knocking people off their feet, an unusual disappearance or rise of water in the ocean, an odd bubbling in the ocean, a roaring sound coming from the ocean, or animals acting strangely by suddenly leaving, gathering in groups, or trying to get into places they normally wouldn't go. Make your way out on foot. It is preferable to walk or run inland to higher ground than driving because families may become trapped, stalled in traffic, or stranded due to damaged roadways. Only bring what is absolutely required. If a go kit is available, families should bring it, otherwise, they must leave all of their stuff behind. If possible, they should bring their pets with them, but if they are unable to reach high ground, they should take other precautions. Families can take refuge on an upper story or roof of a substantial building. Climb a tree or grasp a floating object and hang on until aid arrives. Assist those who are in need. Encourage families to help neighbors who have special needs, such as infants, small children, frail elderly people, and people with functional or access issues. Remain evacuated until officials say it's safe to return. Tsunamis are a succession of waves that might last several hours, therefore no one should return until the authorities have issued an official warning. Parents and caregivers can help children cope with tsunami emotions by modeling calm conduct. Children may imitate the reactions of adults around them, and they may pick up ideas for self-care from what their parents and caregivers do. Use a quiet, steady voice to deliver simple but accurate information. Depending on the severity of the issue, answering questions from youngsters may have to wait until the family has arrived at a safe area. Encourage activities that are soothing or distracting. To calm their bodies, children may benefit from slow breathing, because families may be forced to flee for several hours. Keep youngsters occupied with simple activities. Finding opportunities for parents and caregivers to take a minute for themselves, express their thoughts, accept that this is a scary circumstance, and engage in a coping plan may be beneficial. Tsunamis can strike with little warning, heightening the dread and intensity of the event, as well as increasing the number of people killed or injured. Tsunamis can be extremely difficult for children and families to recover from, as they may have experienced life-threatening personal experiences, the loss of loved ones and property, total disruption of daily routines and expectations for the future, post-disaster adversities, and massive economic impact. Tsunamis affect children differently according on their age, developmental level, and previous experiences. Following are some typical reactions that children may have following a tsunami: anxiety over recurrence and a sense of impending danger. Separation anxiety develops as a result of this fear, and youngsters do not want to be apart from their loved ones and friends. Grief and anguish over the multiple losses they have suffered, as well as the loss of loved ones. Reactions to reminders, example, hearing the sirens being tested, seeing large waves. An aftershock, being continually on the alert for danger, increased startle, or avoidance of persons or places associated with the event are all examples of post-traumatic stress reactions. Disruptions in daily functioning, such as sleep, dietary changes, concentration difficulties, and withdrawal from pleasurable activities. Physical symptoms such as headaches, stomachaches, and general pain have increased. An increase in pessimistic ideas, such as the belief that the world is a hazardous place or that a new tsunami is imminent. Most families will recover over time after a tsunami, especially with the help of family, friends, and organizations. The way parents and caregivers deal with the aftermath of the tsunami will have an impact on children's functioning and recovery. Adults are frequently sought out by children for information, comfort, and assistance. Parents and caregivers can help children by modeling calmness, effective problem solving in stressful situations, and good coping in the face of tsunami warnings. Children may require more attention and comfort, so parents and caregivers can assist them in returning to a predictable routine that allows the family to spend time together. When answering inquiries about the tsunami and its aftermath, parents and caregivers should be honest and present knowledge at a developmental level. Parents and caregivers should keep an eye on themselves and their children for reactions that intensify or last longer than 6 weeks after the tsunami and seek additional assistance if necessary. Tsunami resources. Definition: tsunamis are a succession of massive, powerful waves that result from underwater movement caused by earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, landslides, or meteorites. Tsunamis can strike at any time of year, at any hour of the day or night, although they are uncommon, occurring approximately once per year. The waves can reach speeds of up to 500 miles per hour. Tsunamis caused by far-off underwater movement will take several hours to reach the coast, giving time for formal warnings. Local tsunamis, on the other hand, are caused by a violent, near-offshore undersea movement, typically an earthquake, and arrive minutes after the ground stops shaking and with no warning. Tsunamis can result in catastrophic loss of life or injuries, as well as considerable property and infrastructure disruption. While a tsunami could strike anywhere along the United States coastline, the most destructive tsunamis have struck American Samoa, Hawaii, Alaska, Washington, Oregon, and California.